Hi, this is Robert. Thank you for tuning in and listening to and watching my video series about Wernicke's encephalopathy. This is part 10. Not sure if this will be a final part or not. But part 1 was what happened leading up to our hospital visit. Part 2 was our first doctor visit and being admitted into the hospital. Part 3 was what happened during our hospital stay. Part 4 was being discharged from the hospital. Part 5 was our first weekend, basically being out of the hospital and me experiencing trauma. Part 6 was trying to start life with this condition. Part 7 was, learning that my wife thought I was the enemy. Part 8 was doctor visits and being educated about her condition. Part 9 was about a few things that was going on, trying to get a grip on how to care for her. And now part 10 will kind of get into a little bit of the stability aspects of helping somebody that's suffering with Wernicke's encephalopathy. We were out of the hospital. I've learned some about her sickness, libraries not helping, doctors not helping much, and I'm just learning day by day how to get through the day. We had a cruise schedule, so I'm learning that my wife holds on to emotions more than she can hold on to information. It seems that sometimes she remembers things longer than others. Michael Jackson is dying in my house every day. She's watching TV. They make an announcement about Michael Jackson being dead. She runs to where I am and says, "Did you know Michael Jackson's dead?" "Yes, sweetie, I know. This is like day 44. He's died again." She doesn't know that he's dead. One day around Christmas, or shortly after, I did something or my wife wanted some time alone. She was processing, trying to figure out what was going on with her. She was stacking things up in the bedroom, thinking that I was hiding things from her or stealing things from her. It's getting hard to walk through the bedroom. She still thinks I'm her enemy. And she turns around and she's in the bedroom. It's time to go to bed for me. So I walk my computer into the bedroom, my laptop. I set it on the bed. She asked me to leave the bedroom. I said, "I'm not leaving the bedroom. I don't know what you're upset about, but I'm going to go to bed." She demands that I leave. I tell her no, she leaves. Well, the bedroom was kind of her sacred haven. I refused to leave, so I got up and went into the bathroom to brush my teeth to prepare for bed. When I came out of the bathroom, she was still on the bed, but the power cord to my laptop was missing. So I told her, I said, "Look, you need to give me my laptop power cord. I got stuff I need to do." And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't bother your laptop." I said, "No, my cord is sitting right there. You've done something with it. Go get it." She refused. She said she had nothing to do with its disappearance. Quickly set in that she had forgotten that she had moved my laptop cord to try to get me out of the bedroom. Wasn't no use of arguing. She just didn't remember. So I breezed through the house, couldn't find it. 2.5 days later, when I went to unplug the Christmas tree, I found the cord of my laptop jammed in the Christmas tree. She had grabbed my laptop, put it in the Christmas tree. 30 seconds later, forgot she had ever done it. And there I was without my laptop power cord for 2-3 days. It's like, wow. Couldn't turn my head on her for a minute. It was increasingly difficult to get her to leave the bedroom while I was home. On one of my trips away from the home, I realized that she was getting up, going through things at the house, looking for things that could support her suspicions that I was trying to divorce her and leave her desolate. Sad, sad situation. I was coming to the realization that one day my daughter would want to get married and have kids, and my wife would not be able to participate in helping my daughter get married or helping her with caring for her grandchildren. These things were troubling and sad at most, and I found myself crying more as the days went on, really feeling sorry for the condition that my wife was in. I promise you, I cried more in a month than I cried in 45 years, and have probably cried more in the last month than I have, the previous 45 years of our life. But I was determined to care for her. Things at work was very difficult, being a salesperson on commission. Although I was working enough to make ends meet, my sales were falling apart because of the economy. So I was running out of money, running out of the ability to think, and it was just a very difficult time. One day, for some reason, my wife decided she was having a good day. Some days she could actually remember 80% of the information that came to her for up to 4 hours. On those days, she could actually do something like boil water or maybe wash the dishes. But her life was so confused most of the time, she didn't know why the dishes weren't washed, because I hadn't washed them at that moment. She didn't know why the clothes weren't washed, because I hadn't washed them at that time. And if she did see me cooking or doing the dishes, she said, "Hey, man, that's great, you're doing the dishes," as if it was the first time I had done it ever in our marriage, which was, I didn't take it as offense. I was kind of flattered by it, but it was comical. Most of the time, she was a very amusing, funny person to be around, because what I've learned is people with a short-term memory problems, they try to use humor to mask the grave situation. So we began to go day by day, and I was hanging in there, per se. In May, she woke up one day, and instead of me convincing her and pleading with her to take her vitamins, instead of me sitting by her bedside, bringing her breakfast in bed for the 190th day in a row, besides me pleading with her that I wasn't trying to divorce her, she walked out of the bedroom, through the living room, into the kitchen, stretched her arms, and said, "Good morning, sunshine." I quickly had to think back to know if we had a firearm in the house. I didn't know. I was like, I'm being tricked here. Somebody's playing a horrible game. But what had happened, somehow, some way, she had crossed a threshold. And this threshold took her out of terror and into some sort of peace with her sickness. And from that moment on, life has been not as challenging taking care of her, because her attitude has been improved. It's easy to take her through the day. It wasn't until after that that I was able to assess her mental capacities. And basically what I've come to the conclusion of, 1 or 2 days out of the month, her memory gets as short as 10 seconds. She can only remember things 10 to 30 seconds, and she forgets everything. Some moments in the month, she can remember things as long as 4 to 6 hours, and she may retain 20% of what she remembers, enough to be confused about any subject. So her ability to learn new things is dramatically hampered, and from what the doctors say, will never get better. But her intellect is still intact. When you talk to my wife, she's as smart, if not smarter, than she's ever been, because she can access long-term memory better than anyone can. So she has everything that she's learned up until her point of sickness, which erased 6 months back from her day of sickness. She just can't remember current events. So current events is real foggy. She has a wonderful intellect, smarter than she's ever been. but she has the abilities of a 4-year-old. As a caregiver, these are your goals. 1, get them stable emotionally. 2, try to find out what they do remember and assess their mental capacity, their memory capacity. 3, try to figure out what their current abilities are. Like I said, my wife has the intellect and wisdom and smartness of a 45-year-old, but she has the abilities of a 4-year-old. So basically, I'm married to a 4-year-old woman that's smarter than any 40-year-old person. There you have it. I'm working on a book that I will hopefully get published within 6 months. I may post some more videos that talks about the ups and downs of caring for somebody with Wernicke's. And, well, I'll go ahead and do another video now because there are some things that you just got to know about their safety and about this condition.